Amanda, and I am 29 years old this year. I teach yoga, I teach bar, as well as work for Lululemon for now. I actually started yoga when I was after junior college. So I was always a dancer since I was about 6 or 7 years old. After I left junior college, I didn't really dance anymore because I went overseas for university and there wasn't a dance group that I could join. So then I turned to yoga as a way for me to keep my flexibility but also to keep active. So yoga was for me at the beginning a fitness thing, but over time it became more of a self-discovery and a self-study tool. That's how I started yoga. So I've been teaching for about a year now. So I did my teacher training in November 2017, and it was with Yoga Works that's based in LA. So it's a big yoga school and they do destination trainings. And before I actually went for my teacher training, I actually did a few immersion courses here in Singapore. And I felt like the next natural thing for me to pursue was my teacher training, the full one. So I signed up, and it was a big leap of faith because I never really thought that I would go into teaching. It was a way more for me to learn about myself and also to deepen my practice a little bit and just to get away from Singapore for a month. So that's how and why I decided to do my teacher training. Erica? Kidding. Well, Erica was actually one of my first teachers back in, I would say, 2013 when I first came back to Singapore from Dubai. So definitely her teaching kind of inspired me to go further. I love watching Kino Yoga's Instagram because I think she's authentic and real. So to me, yoga is not so much about being fancy and doing all the crazy handstands or pincha or anything like that. It's more about self-reflection and always asking yourself how you can be better each day. And it's also okay to fall and learn each time you fall what you can do better next time. So anyone with that kind of mentality or mindset actually inspires me. One of my best friends also taught me the importance of meditation. That to me is an integral part of yoga. So because I was trained in Vinyasa, a lot of my, even my 101s are very much flowy. So moving from one posture to another, but I like to see how the class progresses before I move on to the next planned sequence or like the next planned flow that I have. What is important to me the most is alignment and safety. So I don't like to push students into getting a pose that they cannot do. One thing that I learned from my teachers that I took away from my teacher training was the importance of Vinyasa Krama, which is a step-by-step process. So it's all about the process, it's not about the end goal, and I like to focus on that on my class. For those of you who come for classes with me, if you haven't, I'd love to meet you, but if you have, you realize I focus a lot on breathing at the start of class and centering onto your mat when you arrive into class. What I like to say to all my students is to find the importance of your breath even as you move through, whether or not you're on the mat doing your practice or whether you're off the mat. The importance of the breath is really to help you to ground into the present moment, which is very important, I feel, for everyday life in Singapore because it's so busy all the time. When you learn to ground into your breath, it's really when you can stay present in the moment, and that's really all we need, right? Like the past and the future, it doesn't matter when you're grounded in the moment. So that's what I would like my students to take off the mat even after the yoga practice. I did ballet when I was younger. So when I was first introduced to barre as part of my sweat repertoire, when I started working at Lululemon, I tried it because I'm always up for trying new things. So I tried it and I felt that it was working muscles that I never knew I had. So like all those isometric pulses and contractions in your muscles, they really work your muscles to fatigue. And I felt like that really complemented the yoga training, where it was a lot more of elongating the muscles and strengthening. So that's why I have been doing it, and I will keep doing it. So you should try.